What is up, YouTube? Do a little introduction video here. It's my first video on the channel. I've had this channel for a little bit, and kind of just do this a little slow. I don't really do these things that often, but a couple buddies, they've got their own channel, so I figured, why not give it a shot? So we're gonna do a little introduction video and kind of introduce you and figure out what we got going on here. So, this channel is going to consist of a bunch of cars, dirt bikes, race cars, all that stuff. So I'm going to kind of flip you around here and show you what we got going on. So a little backstory. We're going to start this video out with my wife's car. We're going to start the channel doing stuff on her car. So I bought this car about maybe a little over 2 years ago. Maybe even longer than that, I would think. It's 03 Mach 1. I bought it sight unseen. Don't really know why, but it looked really good from pictures, clean, and being an Arizona car, you think it'd be super clean underneath, which it was. When I got it, it had a couple issues with it, nothing that I was really concerned about, maybe a couple cosmetic things here and there, but overall really clean car. Came with, we got the tubular K-member control arms, had subframe connectors on it, really clean car underneath. And it started developing the typical 4-valve smoke from the guides, or as what I thought was the guides. So I took it to a local shop, and what they did is they were telling me that it needed rings and compression was down, and it's not really something that I kind of believed at that point. So I wanted him to dig a little bit further and kind of tell me, if it's going to need this, if it's going to need the rings, if it's going to need the guides, anything like that. And he had the car for about 9 months and didn't really do anything with it. What he did do was blew it up. That's why we have no engine, no trans. That shop or person kind of dicked a lot of people around and took a lot of money from people and ended up putting a shit ton of miles on my wife's car. And in that process, ended up hurting the trans, hurting the motor even more. And so me and the wife, we decided to tear the motor down, and we found quite a bit of issues with it, and it's just not something I was happy about, as a lot of people would not be happy. If I'm taking a car to you and I want it worked on, I don't want you and your buddies driving it around and beating the piss out of it. So what we're doing, just kind of give you an update of where we're at. Engine is currently at a shop. It's at Winter Performance and Machine out here in LaGrange. If it's winter time. It's Ohio, nothing to do, so we're building her a car. Brandon Winter has the motor right now. We are doing full forged rotating assembly, crank rods, pistons, turbo cams, bunch of good stuff, and we are doing twin 6262s, putting a T56 Magnum in it, and we're gonna let it eat. But right now, kind of where we're at, we don't have the motor in, obviously, and I wanted to clean the engine bay up for a while we had the motor apart. So started taking everything out, and we're kind of here with the Scott rod panels. I ended up getting the Scott rod panels for her. So it's going to have these, and then the frame rail covers for those as well on both sides. Out of the box, they're great. as far as I know, you know, pretty easy to do. Might have to trim a couple things, like on this piece right here. Now we're gonna have to trim this section to kind of, so we can get it to fit a little bit better. And we're doing a complete wire tuck, so everything is gonna be on the inside of this. And noticing when I'm doing the passenger side, this little piece kind of sticks out, if you guys can see that a little bit. So we're gonna have to cut this piece out so the sheet metal sits a little bit flush with this section. A lot of guys cut this part out, but I'm gonna keep this so I can mount some of the electrical boxes and everything too. Kind of make it a little bit nice and, you know, neat, and that way we have somewhere to hang everything. But overall, they do fit really well. You know, just got to trim a couple pieces again, and we'll start getting into there. I started cleaning it a little bit up so we can get rid of some of the boogers and everything from the factory. But, you know, we'll make this look nice and clean and get it ready for her motor. But so these are the bottom pieces right here. So these will go on the frame rails, already cut out and notched up there for you. So these will fit real nice and tack weld it. So that's kind of where we're at with our car right now. Just kind of giving you a brief overview of, you know, what we're doing here on the channel. I don't really do these things too much. Something new, something to try. You know, I can kind of take a little motivation from a couple of my buddies that do it right now. So, you know, I want to thank them. And, you know, if you haven't, you know, we'll thank Blown Money Mafia. You know, they're a big part of why I'm doing this. Hot Rods and Dad Bods. You know, he just started his not too long ago, and kind of was chit-chatting with him about his channel and what he has and plans for his. And you know, I can't wait to see what this channel comes about, and, you know, just kind of showing you guys, you know, progress. You know, we're just a normal guy, and, you know, we have a couple toys that, you know, we want to work on and, you know, show the world, and just kind of create some friendships and stuff through social media. You know, we did when we did the motor pool on this car, we teamed up with Wingman Garage, and, you know, they let us use their shop and lifts and everything, and they're great. You know, they offer a complete shop and allowing you to use their lifts and tools and all kinds of stuff. And then Good Morning Mechanic, you know, they came out and filmed it, and, you know, I just can't wait to see, you know, what this project turns out to be. You know, that's kind of the channel, what it's going to consist of for a little bit. It's going to consist of this thing for quite a while. You know, once we start getting a little bit more progress on that, you know, I'll keep doing videos with you guys and keep showing you the progress. You know, I have this car too. It's a 68 Nova. You know, my dad owned that car for 23 years, and you know, we've been doing some stuff on this thing for a while, so stay tuned, see some content with this guy. It's pretty radical. We got some plans for it, so definitely stay tuned for that. But, you know, just want to do a quick little introduction video. Again, I don't do this shit often, so if I seem a little nervous, whatever, I'm not good on camera. A lot of people aren't, a lot of viewers aren't, but we're giving it a shot. So, but me and the kid, we're going to start welding this stuff in today, so I'm just going to keep you guys updated with it, but stay tuned. Thanks, guys.